Woo, buddy! I've been waiting for this day for a long time. My wheels are finally here, and I wanted to do a quick video on everything that it took for me to get to this point. So strap in and get ready to hear all about how I chose my HRE FlowForm 10s. Getting new wheels is one of the single greatest mods you can make for your car, and I'm so excited to finally have mine. One thing that I think that goes overlooked when choosing wheels is the research it takes to get the right fitment and look that you want. So in this video, I really wanted to go over how I selected my wheels and what the process was like to get them delivered, because believe me, it wasn't easy. First, I needed to find my look. From the beginning, I knew the vendor I wanted to order from was Fitment Industries. I'm a big fan of Fitment Industries. I love how open they are about their entire process through the YouTube channel, but above all, I love their financing option because wheels aren't cheap. I went to the website, put in my car's make and model, and I was off to the races. They had a gallery where I could see other cars and their fitments, which was kinda helpful, except it wasn't. They didn't have my body style. Let me explain. My car is a 2020 BMW G20 330i. Mine came in a sports line body trim. This is the M Sport body trim. They're not the same. At first, you may think that this body style might not make that much of a difference, but I disagree. I feel that the boxier, sportier look of the M Sport allows for a broader range of wheels than my sport line, but I wasn't gonna let that hold me back. My next place to check was Instagram. I found profiles of cars that were the same as mine through searching some hashtags, and I started taking notes. The first profile I found was called Miami G20. It's a stage 2 build car with a Miami blue wrap on it. The wheels are a BBS multi-spoke style that you may see on more Euro spec cars like Mark II Golfs or Audis. A unique car, undoubtedly, but what helped me with this the most was that I knew this wasn't the look for me. My next find was OMG20 Gucci. This build had really progressed through a few stages, but OMG fitted their BMW with a Yofer bumper, which I really liked. Initially, the stock wheels didn't feel too right, but they eventually upgraded to M Performance 20-inch wheels on HRS springs. I loved the spiked and webbed feel of these wheels and felt that having M Performance style wheels really meshed well with this car. My third find was Remix G20. At first, Remix just had the Sportline trim, but eventually moved up to installing a Yofer design bumper as well. They did a gloss black wrap on the hood, and for their wheels, they ran Rohana RFX 11s. They seem to be 19 or 20-inch wheels. Their spoke pattern is pretty simple with 5 double spokes. Overall, the openness of the wheel didn't really fit with the look that I wanted for my car. I felt that these wheels were a bit more luxurious and cruiser-esque. Then, I finally found my HRE FlowForm 10s. A user by the name of chenry posted pics of his 20-inch FlowForms on a white BMW much like mine, but again with the M Sport trim. chenry went with the flat setup, and I really liked the look of the wheels. The tires didn't necessarily fit my style as they seemed a bit stretched, but this was a great starting point. I knew I wanted the HRE FlowForm 10s. Now I just need to figure out what size I needed. So now it was time to figure out my sizing. I was hoping that the Fitment Industries gallery would have some fitments for my trim line, but at this point they didn't, so I did the best with what I had. A quick word of caution here. There will be a lot of numbers, but I'll try to make it easy to understand. First thing was knowing my original wheel size. I was running 18 by 7.5 with 225/45 tires. This is important because it helps me figure out my overall diameter so that I know that the entire wheel will fit. On top of fitting, my secondary goal was to avoid tire stretch so that I could get a clean, flat tire wall. So to reach my goals, I'd need to make sure that I'd have enough tire width, which is measured in millimeters, aka the 3-digit number for the tires. For this, I saw my options for the Toyo Proxes were something like 225, 245, and 255. I could just convert these numbers to inches and then compare that number to the wheel width. 225 millimeters came out to something about 8.6 inches, which was way too small, but 245 millimeters came out to about 9.6 inches. Just right. That seemed like plenty of tire for me, and so I ditched the 255 millimeter option since I knew it would just be way too chonky. For the wall, I thought that the 45mm specs that I had on my current setup were too tall, so I decided to go with the 35mm option instead. Now for the overall diameter. I put all my options into a wheel size calculator to make sure I wasn't messing with the overall diameter too much, and bada bang, I got my sizing. Time to put in my order. Putting an order in for wheels isn't difficult. You fill out their forms and you're on your way. I originally ordered some dark graphite wheel on back order. Fitment Industries asked me if I wanted to change my wheel, and without knowing backorder queue times, I said nah. So I waited, and waited and waited. I went on HRE's Instagram to see if they made any updates about their production line, and lo and behold, they did. Seeing all those wheels in production made me think that I need to change up my order. I messaged HRE asking about the back order timeline, and they were like, I don't know. But they came back with me like, hey, we got you on these other ones ready to go. And so back to Fitment Industries I go. Hey homie, can I get those new wheels? And they were like, yeah, I got you. And just like that, I had wheels ready to go. But not really. It took a couple more months from the time of that order, and then I finally received them at my door on the pallet, mounted, balanced, and ready to rip. I followed the prompt in my BMW to align the tire pressure sensor, which were also installed by Fitment Industries, and my car was good to go. Overall, it took about 4 months total. This is what you should expect for quality wheels in this day and age. I'm extremely happy with my purchase, and I'm doing my best to not curb my wheels. Cheers to the New Year's, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.